Okay, hey guys, I'm here at I think my fifth workshop entitled Hurt People. And with this workshop, we'll be discussing how the cycle is continued on and how easy it is to forgive someone when you can understand that they're a hurt person. And when you have unforgiveness in your heart, the cycle of unforgiveness continues on, and it doesn't stop until you learn to forgive someone to be able to heal. And I wanted to show the ladies that and gentlemen that healing is a process. Forgiveness is a process. But it's easier for you to forgive when you understand that the person that hurt you was once a hurt person as well. I'm not saying what they did to you was right. I'm not saying that gives them a pass. I'm saying it's easier to forgive someone when you can understand that they were once a hurt person too, which is why they go around hurting people. So, in hurt people, it's a process. It's a process to heal. It's a process to overcome unforgiveness in your heart. When you harbor unforgiveness, that means that you become the person that hurt you. You become something like the person that hurt you. So it's easier for you to forgive. I'm not saying forget. I'm not saying that it was okay for them to hurt you. What I am telling you is that you have to let it go in order for you to heal, so that you can move on to become better and greater than what you are every day in every way, in your thinking and the things that you're doing. When you harbor what someone did to you and you hold it on as a grudge, it's not doing nothing but hurting you. It's poison to yourself. So you forgiving them is not for them, it's for yourself. Everything you do is for yourself. I don't care, it was rape, molestation, whatever it was. I was raped, I was molested, but I forgave them people for myself, not for them. So this is what this workshop is about. Hurt people. So if y'all have any questions or concerns about F.L.Y and what F.L.Y is and the things, it's a 7-week workshop series that I created. And I created F.L.Y because I was tired of seeing people, especially people in my family and myself, going through hurts and pains and nobody doing anything about it. We walk around with being abused. We walk around with molestation. We walk around with all this heavy emotional baggage and not doing anything about it. So I really was tired of feeling like that. So I got to the point where I was tired of being tired. So I come to a place where I began to find out that I didn't love myself. I was making the wrong choices. I was going down the wrong path, and I didn't want to live like that no more. So I decided to make the choice to change. And I honestly know that God helped me do that. So that's when I created F.L.Y. And this is my logo. So the butterfly just represents the trials and tribulations that you must go through in order to overcome your greatness and to get into your cocoon, so you can understand that you're no longer a caterpillar. I want to help people begin a process of getting into their cocoon to help them become a butterfly. There are all different types of butterflies. No butterfly is the same. Everybody is unique. Everybody's made different. And I want people to understand that and know that and believe that. And in order to get people to get into the process where they want to change, I have to help them overcome all the hurts and pains in their life, whatever that may be, to show them that you cannot become a new creature being the old way that you was, carrying the old emotional baggage that you have. You are worthy to be loved. You are worthy to be anything you want to be in life, but you have to cleanse yourself from inside out to be the woman or man that you need to be. And that was important to me. So when I found out I didn't love myself, it just made me think about how many men and women out there that don't love themselves as well. We make choices and decisions and thinking that we're doing it for us, but we're not. We're doing it off emotional hurt. That's why so many people nowadays, they try to smoke their emotions away, crack, drugs, weed, whatever it may be. Some people drink their emotions. Some people have sex to cover up their emotions. It's different types of ways that people deal with the emotional baggage that they have. I found that very, very important the saying goes, if you want better, you do better, So I found myself wanting to do better. So when I found myself at that place like that, I just wanted to help other women and men do the same. I watch my family go through some tremendous events where I watched them just repeatedly hurt themselves over and over again because of things they were dealing with. And I didn't want to live like that. And you have to stop the generational cycle, because if you don't stop the cycle with you, you're going to keep on the cycle with your grandchildren and so forth and so forth and so on, because you're passing along hurt. And if you don't stop it, it will continue on. It's not going to stop. You're going to find your grandchildren doing the same things that you used to do, because your children was doing what you used to do, and they're passing it on and so forth. But you got to stop the cycle somewhere. You have to break the chain. It can't continue on and think that you're going to change. It's not going to work like that. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever pain you're feeling, whatever emotional hurts, emotional baggage that you have, you got to overcome that. Because if you don't overcome that, it would definitely hurt you. It would definitely continue on. You have to stop it. I found myself at a place where I had insecurity issues, and I had suffered from abandonment because my father wasn't in my life. I missed that moment where I was supposed to have a dad to show me what a man was. And because I didn't have that, I made all the wrong choices and decisions. He didn't know that even him not being there taught me something. You know what I'm saying? His absence also taught me that I wasn't worthy, that men can abandon me, that it's okay for a guy to not choose me. You know what I'm saying? So as a woman, what did I do? I wanted love, so I tried to fill those voids and places in my heart where my father should have been. So I went and did the wrong things. I went and slept with the wrong people. I'm trying to compensate for what I wanted as a little girl. So as I grew older and as a woman, and I realized that as a woman, oh yeah, sure, Kelly, you could share it. As a woman, when I realized I was worthy enough, when I realized I had to love myself, when I realized that, all the things that I was taught as a child wasn't true, I wanted to be stronger than what I was, and I wanted to teach my daughter that. I didn't want my daughter growing up thinking and having my emotional hurts put on her. You know how sometimes as parents, when we hurt, we unknowingly put our emotional baggage on our children by speaking things into existence like, oh yeah, all men is this, and your dad was this, and just speaking things over our children. Like, we don't mean to do that, but my mom used to do that too. You speak things over your children. You don't mean, it's not out of hurt. It's not intentional. It's just something we do that we need to stop doing. So when I decided to let go of the emotional baggage, I found myself at a very, very different place. And I wanted to help other women, because I'm not the only woman that's out there that felt abandoned by her father. And you could feel abandoned by your mother. You could feel abandonment from many different things. It don't always have to be, a daddy not being there. It could be anything. And I realized when I was harboring that, I was acting off my emotions. Whatever I wasn't talking out, I was acting out. I was going to the wrong places, being with the wrong people, doing the wrong things. And I decided, you know what? If I don't decide to love me the way that I know I need to be loved, I'm going to die being just like this. I'm going to die being nothing. I'm not going to never make it to be nowhere. I'm never going to accomplish anything, because I'm always finding myself in that cycle. And the cycle is on. And you ever find yourself same shit, different day. That's how it is with your emotions. You find yourself with a different person, different year, but it's the same shit, because you're not dealing with it. You're not healing. You're not moving on. You're not really cleansing yourself out the way you're supposed to. And when I found myself doing it, I've realized that now I'm beginning to love me, because I'm not putting up with half the things I used to. My mind is stronger. I believe that I am worthy to be loved in the way that I know that I could, because I love me. I don't need nobody to love me the way I love me. I love me. Regardless of what anybody else think, feel, or anything. I care about me. And I wanted to show other women that they could do the same thing. You don't have to sit in your hurt. You don't have to sit in the pain. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you've been raised like that, and you see that it's all around you, it's in your neighbors, it's in different families, it's in your friends. That's why we attract the people we attract. You realize, like, you got to come out of this. It's really a generational cycle that we do. We pass it on and on and on. That's why most of the time these young girls, I was one of them, 14 and pregnant. Come on now. I was looking for something. And now I see other young girls who was in the same shoes that I was in, looking for something. Because what you're not getting at home, which is love. You're not getting the love that you need. Because if you was getting the love that you needed at home, you wouldn't be out here looking for it. You wouldn't be out here trying to demonstrate the actions of thinking that you love yourself, but you don't. You really don't. That's what it is. That's what it all boils down to. You don't love yourself. And I know that's hard for some people. Oh, I love myself. I do my hair, I do my nails, but that's the outer exterior. The inside of you, you do not love yourself. Because if you love yourself, you wouldn't make half the choices and decisions that you did. You don't love yourself. And sometimes it takes people a long time to admit that. And when you don't love yourself, that means it's time for a change, so that you can begin a process to begin to love yourself and break down all those barriers, all those chains that's been on you for years. It's time to break them. It's time to break them off of you. Stop this generational cycle of not being loved and not knowing how to love. The love starts with you. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be honored. You deserve to be cared for. No, anything you ever been through in life, that's nothing but a trial and tribulation. As long as you have life and breath in your body, you deserve to be loved the right way. And that love starts with you. That love first starts with God loving you. You loving God and God showing you who you are as a man or as a woman. And really, truly honoring yourself. Honoring yourself enough not to... I'm not going to sit and smoke my life away. I'm not going to just sit around and smoke all day. Or I'm not going to just lay around with Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm not going to just give myself to anybody. I'm not going to tolerate a man disrespecting me. I'm not... And those are some of the things I tolerated. I tolerated being disrespected. I tolerated a man just treating me like a revolving door because I thought that was okay. And that's all I seen growing up. So once you begin to love yourself, you won't tolerate those things anymore because you love you enough not to put up with anybody's shit. Anybody. I don't care who it is. Anybody. And most of the time as women, we try and we, I'm going to do this for my kids. I'm going to, overcome for my kids. It can't be for your kids. You got to do it for yourself because you doing it for your children. Your children mess up. You start to revert back and not getting back to your comfort zone and start doing the things you used to do because you think you're doing something wrong as a parent. But if you love you and your child does something wrong, you're going to always be able to stand and be able to correct them the right way, if that makes sense to some people. I think that it does, I realized at 14 when I wanted to have a baby, when I wanted to have a baby at 14, not that I planned the Maya, but, I realized that me even having a child that loved me didn't matter because I didn't love me. So it wouldn't have made no difference of me having a baby so young because I'm looking for love and I'm trying to find love. Her loving me still is not going to make me love me. So it's still making me wanting to go out there and party and, do all types of different things because I didn't love me. So it didn't matter if I had a daughter that loves me unconditionally. If I don't love me, I'm still not going to be the mom I need to be. So, it's the cycle is so deep. Like, if you think about it, you'll even find that if you look at your mother, look at yourself, look at your mother, and look at her mother's mother. Y'all got some similarity somewhere what y'all do that you don't like what she did, but you find yourself doing them as you get older. You don't do it intentionally. It's just something that you do. Maybe it was sleeping around with different men. Maybe it was sleeping around with people's men. Who knows? I don't know. It could be anything. Maybe her thing was when she gets, overwhelmed or stressed out, all she did was sit around and drink. Maybe you find yourself drinking all the time. Maybe you find yourself when your kids mess up, instead of you sitting down understanding your children, you talk at them and talk to them in a disrespectful way. And your mother used to do that to you. Maybe your mother, back in the day when I know for me, when I tried to talk to my mom when I was a teenager, she wasn't trying to hear it because I was a child. So it was like I didn't have a voice. Do you do that to your children? Some people do that to their children. Their children don't have a voice and can't talk. And when they try to talk to their parents talk over them as if their emotions or feelings don't matter when it do. When it does. Children's feelings matter too. Especially when they get to their teenage stages where they don't understand why they feel the way they do. Those are not the stages where you need to be talking at your children. You need to be trying to understand. And since I was not understood, I went out in the streets to try to find it. To be understood. And that's how I fall into the hands of the wrong man. Now I'm 14 and pregnant, thinking I'm grown, know what I'm doing, and I don't. And that happens. Because you're not getting that love at home, so now I'm looking for it elsewhere. Because while he's sitting down listening to me, all the things that I got going on, I think that he cared about me when he really don't. He just want to get my drawers. But I don't know that. How would I know that? If you would have listened to me at the beginning stages, we wouldn't have got here where we are now. Now I'm 14 and pregnant. Now you mad at me. What was I supposed to do? So, F.L.Y is many different things. I just want people to understand the importance of F.L.Y and what it means. and the importance of loving yourself. When I say fly first, love yourself, I really, really mean fly first, love yourself. Love yourself first. And I don't mean in a selfish way, a disrespectful way. I mean in a loving way. Love yourself first. Everything that you want from somebody, the way you want to be treated, the way you want to be honored, do that to yourself first. Overcome all those things that you know that you're hurting with behind closed doors. Do that to yourself first. Cleanse yourself first. Before you even try to go be with somebody, before you try to build anything, you can't even really have a business mindset to grow and do anything when you're dealing with so much shit. Cleanse yourself. Overcome all those things that you've been hiding in the inside. Stop hiding behind your hurt. Stop hiding behind Facebook, Instagram, putting up posts like you're really happy when you're not. Overcome those things so that you can really go be great and you can really fly. The difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly is the butterfly can go and fly in any flower it wants to. A caterpillar can't do that. It takes them a long time to get there. So they eat what they can because they're crawling around from this leaf to this leaf, just eating whatever. A butterfly is very specific. It's beautiful wings. It could travel to different destinations, but it took that caterpillar to go into its chrysalis to be able to do that. It had to make a major change. And that's just like with you. You got to change first. You got to change in order to get better. You got to change in order to be able to think straight. You got to change who you are. You can't be the old person and then try to do something new. It's not going to mix. And you wonder why everything crumbles all the time because you're not healing yourself. You're not really healing. How many times when we're in relationships, we don't give ourselves time enough to heal before we jump into another one? Or what about when someone do us wrong? We don't give ourselves time enough to heal before we accept them back. You didn't even let me. You have not allowed yourself to heal from anything before you allow something new to happen. This is why everything always falling apart. Nothing is really healed. You can't go and get surgery and then the next day just think you're going to jump up. It don't work like that. You have to heal, whether it be 4 months, 6 months, a year, however long it takes for you to heal, to be able to love you correctly, to be able to make the choices and decisions in your life to be a better you. Then so be it. You take that time out for yourself. That's you in your chrysalis. That's you wanting to be that butterfly. Taking everything you have to. I don't care if you got to move. I don't care if you got to stop old friendships. Stop whatever you have to do to be the better you that you have to be. Do it. People going to judge you regardless on what you do. It doesn't matter. Whether you good, whether you doing good, whether you doing bad. So you might as well make the choice to do what the fuck you need to do for you. Because ain't nobody going to do it for you. And nowadays, nobody care about you enough to tell you the truth. They don't care. They rather gossip about you. Sit down and listen to your problems, but don't never tell you nothing. Ever. Ever. I'm telling you, in order for you to overcome that hurt and that pain that's going on in your life, you have to stop and love yourself. You have to stop and be willing to grow. You have to stop and be able to make a change and a difference for yourself. First, and it starts by loving God. God will show you the way to love yourself. Because he loves you regardless on what you do. That's the only person. I don't even want to call him a person. That's the only being that will ever love you unconditionally. That's the only one that knows you inside and out to be able to show you the type of man or woman that you are. You have to love him first and love him wholeheartedly with everything you got. Don't matter what you're losing around you. It doesn't matter. Love him wholeheartedly. I mean, with everything you got. His ways is not your ways. His understanding is not yours either. So therefore, put everything you got in him. Everything. What do you have to lose? You don't have nothing to lose. You done tried it your way. It didn't work. So now it's his way. Just do it his way. I'm telling you. It's the only way. And God will show you who you are. He will show you. Little by little, he will start to show you the true woman or man that you are. By taking those emotional baggages off of you. Taking that emotional hurt off of you. Heal. Stop hiding. Stop sweeping things under the rug. Stop pushing stuff in the closet. Because them skeletons is going to keep coming out. Every time they peek out, you push them back in with something new from the stuff that you keep on creating. Go. Be great. Go and love. Go and be great. Go and do whatever it is you want to do. But first, heal. Stop and heal. Heal from the childhood experiences you have. Forgive the people that you need to forgive. Stop harboring unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is a monster. Unforgiveness is poison. Unforgiveness will hurt you. Really heal. Heal. Heal yourself. Take however long you need to heal yourself and overcome. So I'm telling you, a lot of people that's around you do not care enough or love you enough to tell you anything that you know that you need to hear. And I'm not doing it. F.L.Y is here, and I'm not stopping it. I'm not sugarcoating it for nobody. Anybody that don't want to see my posts, you don't want to see my lives, you more than welcome to unfollow me. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not lying to nobody. I'm going to keep it just as real as God kept it real with me. And that's just the truth. And like I said, F.L.Y is a 7-week workshop series. And from the beginning of the workshops all the way down to the end, I deal with everything. I have workshops that's titled, my first workshop I did is the introduction, which is just introducing F.L.Y to people, letting them know what it is. The second one is entitled baggage. Just letting them know the baggage they be carrying around, the emotional baggages they be carrying around. I also do a demonstration to show you. I don't just talk. I don't just come to places and just want to be a speaker. I also give you a demonstration. I also make them do work to just not let you hear it, but to feel it. Because to carry a heavy bag around, I fill it up with water bottles so you can see the heavy load. And you can feel the heavy load of walking around. I know y'all heard that song, Erykah Badu, Bag Lady. She ain't never lie. That's how you look. You can't travel around with all those bags around you, about to fall and crack your neck. You can't go nowhere. Every time you turn around, you missing something, an opportunity, or you missing out on true love or whatever it may be. You need to stop and put your bags down. The last workshop I did last week was entitled Break Down, because you have to break down to build up. You got to break down every barrier. You got to really get to the root of all your problems and really pull it up from the root and be able to build the stronger foundation. You cannot build a foundation on it's not solid. It's going to always crumble. So you have to break it down and rebuild it. Everything you've been taught as a child, sometimes you got to go back and be like, this is not true. Like, this is not true for me. And replace it with something different. And build your foundation the way you want to build your foundation. That's what break down to build up is. Now, today's workshop, like I said, is called Hurt People, Hurt People. To show you the cycle. Like, once someone hurt Tommy, now Tommy hurting Lil, when Lil hurting Phil, and it keep going on and on and on. It never stops until someone decides to break the cycle. And forgiveness is one way to break the cycle. I look at forgiveness and unforgiveness as two things. Forgiveness shows that you're not selfish, that you're willing to let go some things. Unforgiveness means you are selfish. And I say that because I'm sure you have hurt someone that wants to forgive you. I'm sure you have done something to someone, whether directly or indirectly, whether they know about it or they don't. I'm sure you have done that to somebody, and you want somebody to forgive you. God say forgive and be forgiven. Why should He forgive you when you won't forgive nobody? Why? You seek forgiveness from somebody. Okay then, you got to carry that on. Keep going. It don't stop. My next workshop is called the chain reaction. And the chain reaction is just a demonstration to show people that once you start something, you have to keep it going. So that means, you ever notice the more you change, the more the negative stuff starts to fall off of you. You know, friends don't want to hang around you no more. All of a sudden, they got excuses of why they don't invite you out. You know, they don't want to, they think you're too holy or too godly, or, you know, you change, and it's a lot. So that's the chain reaction. And if you don't change, that's also another chain reaction. Because if you don't change, you're also going to see that everything is still the same. You're going to find yourself in on again, off again cycle. So that's what the chain reaction is. After that one, I believe it was Who Am I? Which is also, I'm just looking at my stuff here. Which is also another thing, because some people, once they cleanse themselves out, they got to find themselves all over again and discover who they are, the things that they like. You know, it's just finding out who you are as a person, because a lot of times we don't know ourselves. We think we do, but we don't know ourselves. So that's pretty much what it is. I'm reading your comments now. Thank you. I love you too, Tina. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so proud. Can you please tell my sister I said hi? Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I'm about to go because this workshop is about to start. It starts at 11 o'clock, but that's pretty much it, you guys. And if you have any questions about what F.L.Y is, I'm more than happy to tell you and go into more details about it. Hi. Hello. How are you? Oh, I'm about to go, y'all.